Vinny, Vinny's being so loud. Hey guys, it's Allison, and today I wanted to make a video on how I traveled across the country with my two cats to move them from Michigan to California. So it was quite the process, but I have 5 tips on how to make it a lot easier than it could have been, because honestly, flying with cats can go disastrously wrong. So I flew with my cats, and this video is going to be specifically on flying with your cats because I don't have any experience driving more than like 2.5 hours with my cats. So yeah, let's just get right into it. Alright, so my first and maybe most important tip would be to make a plan with your vet before, like plenty of time beforehand. So I talked to my vet a couple months before when I knew I was going to move, and he said, you know, make sure like the week before you move, bring the cats in. I have 1 kitten and 1 full-grown cat. The one I was most concerned about was my full-grown cat because I've traveled with her previously when I was in college, and I know that she doesn't travel well and that she has really bad anxiety. So we talked about the possibility of medicating her and using sedatives. It was definitely a process, but he definitely walked me through it. And the kitten ended up being too little to sedate, but it was really fine because it was all his personality. He did okay on the flight without any sedative, but the vet definitely recommended for me to use feel-away spray, which I would recommend to anyone who is about to travel with their cats anyway, and that might have helped Vinny, the smaller cat, in the long run. But really, they did okay with the advice and the medication that the vet gave them, and it definitely made my life a lot easier to have Stevie be sedated with the medication that the vet gave her. Number 2, if at all possible, move your cats out separately and after you have everything else moved into your apartment. So I actually drove to California with all of my stuff in a moving truck, and then a couple weeks later I flew my cats out with me. So that helped in a lot of ways. It helped me to not have to worry about unpacking all my stuff, having doors open and close and open and close, and having everything be a mess with cats who are also not used to this surrounding. And also it helped me to like get everything settled in so they would have familiar items waiting for them when they got here. Which brings me to my next point. Number 3 is get as much of their stuff set up and, like, you know, their toys, if they have like a scratching post or like a cat tower, get all of that ready before they get here so that they feel more comfortable, because cats don't do that great in a new environment. And so you're gonna want them to have every smell and like familiar item that they can so that they feel less nervous and that they essentially just don't have behavioral problems or freak out when they get to their new home. Number 4, this one might be a little more difficult for some people, but it really helped me, was I had one of my friends who already lived in LA come over to my apartment. Oh, Vinny is attacking the tripod. Vinny! So anyway, she poured their food in their food bowl, their litter in the litter box, and pretty much just set everything up as much as she could for them so that as soon as I let them out of their cages, because they had been in their cat carriers for 9 or 10 hours by the time that we had gotten to my apartment, they could just go to the bathroom, have a snack, drink some water, whatever they wanted, and it just made them more comfortable, and it saved me from having to deal with cat accidents. So my last and final point would be to plan as much as possible for the day of, because you don't want any disasters happening in the airport. It is quite the process, and I can kind of walk you through what it's like to go through airport security and onto a plane with your cat. So you're gonna want them, if they're taking sedatives, you're gonna wanna give that to them before you get into the airport. And then you're gonna have to go up to where you check bags and check in with the people at the front desk, and they will okay you because you have a pet but they won't just let you go through security. That you have to check in with them first. So you check in with them, and then you go to TSA. If you really feel uncomfortable you're gonna have to take your cat out of the cat carrier, carry it through security, and then put it back in the cat carrier once the cat carrier is scanned through the x-ray machine. And if you really don't feel comfortable with that, you always can ask for a private screening. I didn't because of COVID. The airport was really not busy, and I had my brother with me because you can only take one cat per person. So my brother took one cat and I took the other cat, and we just made sure they had their harnesses on. So make sure your cat is comfortable with the harness too before you fly, because that's gonna make holding on to them way easier. So they had their harnesses on. I just held them as like the way they were most comfortable and grabbed really tight onto the harness so I knew they wouldn't get away from me. And I just was as calm as I could be because I knew that would help them stay calm. And I just, they tell you when to walk through security, and then they're gonna probably like wipe down your hands or something just to make sure you're not like trafficking anything with your animal. And then you just put them right back in their cat carrier. They're probably gonna wanna go back in the cat carrier at that point because they're terrified. And then you can just go to the gate, and then you will take your cat right on with you as if it's a carry-on. Slide your cat carrier under the seat in front of you like it's your carry-on, and you'll just be about your way. It was about a 4.5-hour flight from Detroit to LAX, and the cats ended up being in their carrier for, hi Vinny, are you talking? The cats ended up being in their carrier for about 9.5 hours. So definitely like plan for traffic, plan, you know, make sure they go to the bathroom as close to when you put them in their cat carrier as they can, because it's gonna be a long day and you don't want any accidents to happen. Most of the time cats are gonna hold it and not go in their cat carrier because cats are very clean animals and they don't want to have to go to the bathroom where they're laying. But just be sure, if it makes you feel more comfortable, you can always like fold up a puppy pad and put that in the cat carrier too. But yeah, just make sure you have a plan, and you know, it'll go a lot smoother if you can like say, oh, this happens and then we do this and then we do this. You'll be calmer, and then in return your cats will be calmer too. So yeah, I think that's all my tips. Flying with your cats is really not that hard. I was so scared, and I'm a really anxious person, so I was just like psyching myself out about it. But like as soon as I got through security, that was what I was most scared about. Like I just needed them to like get in and out of their cat carriers and be fine. I mean, it was really okay. TSA was super understanding. I can't say that they would be like I can't speak for every TSA member, but it's really not that bad. I hope this helped. I hope if you're traveling with your cats or planning on traveling with your cats in the near future, that this eased your mind a little bit, and hopefully you can put these tips to use and have a great adventure with your cats, because having your pets in your new home, no matter where you're traveling, should always be possible and accessible. And I think that most people are scared to fly across the country with their cats, but you don't need to be. It's really not bad. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you liked it. Make sure to like, subscribe, all the things, and I'll be back very soon with another video. Bye!